Much like the fight game, the NFL is a sport where any team can win on any given Sunday, and that's why it's one of my favorite sports to bet on. And right now, if you're a new DraftKings customer, you can go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, bet $5, get $150 of bonus bets instantly just by using promo code Inside Fighting. And if sports betting is not yet available in your state, it's not a big deal because you can always just go to DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports and get in on the action there. So if you guys want to bet on some NFL games, new customers, go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, bet $5, get $150 of bonus bets instantly. You just got to use promo code Inside Fighting. We are joined by UFC flyweight, or is it a UFC bantamweight, Tim Elliot? We don't know. How you doing, man?
Never better, man. Just got back to Texas. Had a wrestling practice this morning. Had a bunch of young guys rub my face on the mat. So good. It's good to be back.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, congrats, man. You just beat Sumuderji in a short notice bantamweight fight on the Song Yadong card. And just great performance. You really stepped up. You said you're a company man now, as you said. So that was good to see. Just how you feeling following up a performance like that.
I feel great. I always wanted to be that guy. It's one of those things I really love to fight. So I want to be the guy when they need somebody that they call. And hopefully doing that this weekend, they know that they can call me. I'll make weight and I'll fight hard and win, and we can go from there.
Okay, so if they called you right now to go fight on the card, somebody drops out, you'd be ready to go.
I told him, I was like, if Kelleher or Garbrandt pulls out at 35 for next weekend, like, I'm your guy. I think they only gave me a 4-day suspension. I didn't really get hit. So
Right.
I stuck around Vegas a few days on the off chance that maybe something would happen, because that's the card that I really wanted to be on. It's a big card. The fighting at the Apex is kind of weird for me. So I'd like to be out T-Mobile Arena if all goes well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess that begs the question, like you just mentioned Garbrandt, you just fought at bantamweight. Does this mean you're considering a move up, or you still want to fight at flyweight?
Nah, man, I'm I'm a flyweight. I'll have a hard time leaving the division. I was one of the first fights in the UFC at 125 pounds. 2012, I fought John Dotson. It was his first fight at flyweight. He had just knocked out TJ Dillashaw right before that. I had one of my best performances. But I helped create the flyweight division. When you talk about guys that kept the division around, I was one of them guys. A lot of people were jumping ship. People were saying that the flyweight division was not going to make it. I knew that not to be the case. I knew how many good guys there were at 125 pounds. So, that's my home. I'm a flyweight, but I'm big enough. I could be a bantamweight and I could fight at bantamweight, and especially for short notice fights. I like that. Less thinking involved, less risk of me getting injured. The good thing about finding out on Monday that I was fighting on Saturday was I knew I was going to get a fight. There was no time in
Right.
between for me to get hurt or anybody to pull out. So, it worked out really perfect for me.
I have to ask because, obviously, like the biggest move from flyweight to bantamweight this year has to be Deiveson Figueiredo's step up. What did you think of his performance against Rob Font, and how do you think he's going to fare at bantamweight?
I think his performance was amazing. He looked really good. As far as Font goes, though, I feel like, you got to be able to stop those takedowns. But he's a big guy too. And, obviously the strength wasn't that big of a deal for him going up. This fight was a little different since we were both technically flyweights. And, it kind of sucks for Sue because Sue showed up fight week. Sue was ready to make weight. Sue was ready to fight. And he kind of got penalized for doing everything right. Like, it's not his fault that Nascimento pulled out.
Right.
Nascimento also pulled out against me. I think he's too big for flyweight, but that's kind of a bummer for a guy like Sue, somebody that he's a really nice guy. I like watching him fight. For him to do everything right and then get penalized and then lose a fight, that he wasn't even training or preparing for it. It really kind of sucks, but that's just the way it goes.
All right. I guess, I want to get your takes on a couple of things here. We got a big bantam since you're officially a bantamweight now. No, I'm joking. Cheeto Vera versus Sean O'Malley. That's a big fight coming up. Who you got in that fight?
That's tough. I think Cheeto is better pretty much all the way around, but Sean O'Malley has that weird danger factor. Like, if he catches you slipping, he can knock you out, and he's definitely going to hit you. I think that Cheeto will get him, but it wouldn't surprise me if Sean got the upset and he can put people to sleep. So he has that danger factor always.
Yeah. To get back to Figueiredo, do you think Figueiredo could actually make a little title run here? And how do you think he would fare against O'Malley if O'Malley holds the belt?
Absolutely, I do. I think that I've fought the guy. I feel like he can compete with anybody, and I think he stylistically is kind of a bad matchup for Sean O'Malley. He's a good ground fighter. He doesn't look outsized or outmatched. Rob Font does not look like a small 35er. So I think he could. I mean, he's doing the right things in order to get there. You got to win. That's all it really takes.
Right, right. How do you feel about like Sean Strickland going after Ian Garry and his personal life? Because that's become a huge topic of conversation. You've dealt with your own public issues, like similar stuff, obviously different scenario, but just how do you feel about Sean Strickland going after him? How the MMA community has sort of treated Ian Garry in this situation? How do you feel about it?
I mean, I hate it for Ian that he's having issues, but at the same time, man, it's the entertainment business. It's not just fighting. You have to be entertaining, and you know, all of us have things in our lives that are sad and funny and weird. So although I feel kind of bad for Ian, it's been kind of comical for me that the Krispy Kreme guy. I don't know if you know that rapper. He does like parody rap songs, but he
Yeah,
just did
yeah,
an Ian
yeah.
Gary. He did an Ian Gary song, and it's so fucking good. Like literally, while I was fighting, I just listened to it right before I walked out to fight Sue. That song was playing in my head while I was fighting. I couldn't get it out of my head. Uh, so yeah, it sucks, but you got to learn to laugh at situations like that. It's people all have to have their outlets, and I feel like Sean likes to talk shit online. I also like to talk shit online, so it's hard for me to downplay one side or the other.
Yeah, how do you think Ian should handle it going forward? Does he just need to like knock out Vicente Luque and just keep his head down, or should he respond? Because I imagine at this press conference he's going to hear it from Colby Covington. He's probably going to be hearing it. How should he respond to this?
I'm not sure, but you're right, man. All he's got to do is win. Winning takes care of everything. Like people can say whatever they want. If you're cracking skulls, man, then you're the man. And hopefully it motivates him. And they say there's no such thing as bad publicity in this game. More people know who Ian Garry is now than ever before. I pay more attention to him now after all this stuff going on. So
Yeah.
I hope it works out good for him. If he goes and keeps sleeping people, that's all it's really going to take. People, everything else in his personal life doesn't have really anything to do with his job. I think, hopefully this stuff going on with his personal life will motivate him. I know my personal issues kind of, they hurt me for a bit, but then end up being a positive, and hopefully it does the same for him.
Love that. I love that take.